What's up, y'all? It's Silent, the Big Bamboo, back with some more information for today. Uh, Peace to the ones that are aware of who they are out here and all that. Today, um, basically, I'm going to be speaking on victim and love. Right, so we're going to talk about love and victim. Right, you know, um, people in the world, most people in the world like to play the victim, right? Oh, why me? Oh, why is it happening to me? Right? It's always what's happening to them. But most of them don't realize that most of the stuff that's happening to them, to or happening to them, they creating it. They creating the nonsense, but they just too caught up in a victim ways that they don't realize that they creating the whole situation, right? I made a video, I think last month, and I was talking about uh, narcissism. A narcissist person is someone that is emotional, right? They too emotional, but they haven't went over their emotions, right? But then the biggest thing about it is that most narcissistic people have trauma. They have a lot of trauma, childhood trauma, and they never, did nothing about it because you have to go over that shit yourself. Can't no therapist do it for you. You got to go over it yourself to fix yourself, right? So, what develops a narcissist is someone that has emotions that they have not dealt with, faced, or understood. So they just let it run its course. So this is what comes back to the whole victim. You a victim of yourself, right? You're a victim. You think that everybody's against you, but you really against yourself. Cause most of the shit, I mean, you got the trauma, but most of the other shit you just be making up in your head, thinking somebody got something against you. Ain't nobody against you. You against yourself. You a victim to yourself. You your own worst enemy. That's just the truth. And you have to learn to get out of that mindset because you ain't gonna never get nowhere if you continue to think that way. That everything is happening to you, right? And everybody got something against you. It's mostly you. It's mostly you, right? And there's a lot of people in this world that think that way. They think that motherfuckers owe them something. They think that they don't do no wrong, right? Because that's that victim mindset. You a victim. I didn't do nothing wrong, right? I don't do no wrong. I'm perfect. Ain't nobody perfect. Everybody has done something wrong in their life. Everybody has made a mistake. It's life. Yeah, we all go through trials and tribulations, but if you don't experience nothing that was something that has been what's the word I'm looking for? If you have experienced something that was life changing in your life, that's because most of the time it was supposed to happen, right? And it was supposed to happen to make you become your highest self, your best self. That may sound, crazy, but that's just how this shit works. And most of the time, you design your life to be the way it is, and you design certain things to happen the way they happen. You just don't remember it. So, this is what it is. When you talk about playing a victim, that victim role, nobody is responsible for how you feel inside. Nobody that's that you don't know is responsible for how you feel inside. Because at the end of the day, something that happened to you that was traumatic, yeah, what that person did, they gonna have to deal with their own fate. But it's up to you to be able to get all that out your head and be able to find peace within yourself. Because if you can't find no peace within yourself, you will never be at peace with the world. Because you going to continuously think that everybody is out to get you, and ain't nobody out to get you but yourself. That's just the truth. You got to find a way to find some peace with yourself. You got to find some way. Right, because when you talk about love, a lot of people don't understand what love really is. Right? People think that love is physical touch with another person, kissing and hugging. That ain't necessarily love. Love is a cosmic thing. It's a cosmic understanding. Right? It's a balance. Right? Most people say they love you, but they don't mean it. Right? And the reason why they don't mean it is because they don't love themselves. That's why we talked about emotions. People dealing with emotions that they don't know how to balance out emotions to make something good out of how they feel, right? So, you got some people that need money to make them feel good, right? So you will have somebody that have something they want, and then that's when they, oh yeah, I love you and all that old shit, but they don't mean that. Because if they didn't have it, they wouldn't feel that way. Right? And then if you read energy of people, when somebody tell you they love you, all you got to do is look at their facial expression. If you look at their facial expression and you can see that it's not genuine, then you know they full of shit. See what I'm saying? Because you got to understand, love is the most powerful thing on the planet. Right, but when we talk about, in the case of these dirty Moors tried to teach all of us to manipulate love, right, to where we can say we love you, but we don't mean it. That's the dirty Moor shit. Cause the ones that's organic, we don't do that. When we say we love you, we mean it. We don't got to keep saying it. We can say it one time and it's over with. Right? But we in a world now to where people say a lot of shit that they don't mean. Because if you ask me, if you don't mean it, you shouldn't say it at all. Right? But since people caught up in the lying game, people just, they tend to just blurt it out. Like it ain't nothing that's too serious to feel some type of way about. Right? But when you're a victim to yourself, and you blame everybody for your mistakes and or for how you feel, you ain't gonna know how to love nobody. Love is not gonna seem genuine coming from yourself because you don't love yourself. It's just the truth. You know how people be like, a person that say they love you, but you know they don't love themselves. This how you know you can't trust that they love you because you don't love yourself. If you don't love yourself and you love someone else more than you love yourself, then something wrong with that. That's something that's not normal, nor is it natural, right? But that all comes back to, like I said, about the victim, right? Because you have people that play the victim role, but they grow to hate themselves for what they done, right? So they may find love in other people that's close to them, right? Because they don't know how to love themselves, so they gonna love someone else. But the love is still not natural because they don't love themselves. So you can't love the person that you with. You don't love you. You don't even love the person that you see in the mirror. You don't love that person, right? So basically, all the person that you in a relationship with, all they is some little bit of comfort, right? You don't gotta lay in the bed under the covers, moping and crying about hating yourself and not having nobody. Now you got somebody to cry to and mope with and shed your tears with. You know, that's just what it is. And most people have what's the word I'm looking for? Um, damn, I can't think of the word. I'm trying to think of the word. Um, you say people. Some people in this world cannot live without other people, right? Cause, like I said, a lot of people suffer from their own shit. So if you was to leave their side, they feel like they, as a person, don't have no purpose no more. So they wouldn't want to live no more. They wouldn't have no sense of motivation to be a person anymore or to live anymore because you ain't around. Right, but that still goes back to the victim role. The emotional development um, from all the trauma that they haven't resolved and fixed over the course of time of them being a adult, right? So they, it's a lot that's wrong with them. They not saying nothing, but the actions that they have is what makes them the way they are. This is the shit that I could just read from people by being around and just by what I see. This is how it works. You know, this is just how this situation works with people. A lot of people need a motivator, someone else to get them out of their funk. But most people need someone that they can play the victim with. They need someone. They can't just sit there and just be a victim with themselves. Not all the time. They need someone to play the victim with. Because this is just how it works for some people. Right, but the victim mindset will not get you anywhere that you're trying to get, because you're going to continuously blame others for your downfall. And you ain't going to get nowhere like that. You know, at the end of the day, everything still falls on you. You can be the maker or you can be the destroyer. Everybody has free will. You have free will to do whatever you want to do. Can't nobody tell you what to do. Anybody that try to tell you what to do, is something wrong with them. It goes back to the victim mindset. It goes back to the psychological, emotional issues that they have. Can't nobody tell you what to do. There's a free will. Can't nobody tell you how to move or how not to move. You have your own free will. You have the free will to find peace within yourself, and you have the free will to stay the same. It's all up to you. Can't nobody change you but you. It's just a fact. That's why a lot of people out here, you need to stop thinking you gotta help everybody. You ain't gotta help everybody. Help the ones that want to be helped. Don't help people that don't want to be helped, because all you doing is wasting time and energy on some motherfuckers that don't want to be helped. Right? Because you get a lot of spiritual people be like, man, I want to help people. I want to help the world and all that. You got to understand, not everybody in this world want to be helped. Some motherfuckers want to stay the same. Because there's so much negative energy in them. There's so much exhaustion. There's so much bullshit in them that they just can't change, and they don't want to change. Because then, like we come back to the victim, if they change themselves and better themselves, they have no reason to blame nobody no more. And some people like to have the power of blaming others for why they are the way they are. They want that. That's a power to them. And that's when you get the narcissism. That's when you get the tyranny, being a tyrant. That's where all that comes in at. So people find power in negativity. Trauma, they find power in that after a while. After it develops in their head and they start to remember what happened to them, they find power in it. Oh, I'm going to use this as my failure to life. I'm going to use that. Motherfucker sitting there knocking back some brews and shit and talking about how they mama didn't love them enough and all that other shit. At the end of the day, yeah, your mama may not have loved you enough, but she ain't telling you to chug them motherfucking brews. That's you doing that. That's your own personal choice and decision. Nobody telling you to do that. You doing that to yourself. Ain't nobody telling you to do shit. Because here's the thing about it when we talk about energy. Rod Hayes talked about it before. A lot of us when we receive energy, we always react to it. What I mean by that is that we react as a form of turning a energy, right? It's an energy. Energy is beyond the physical, right? So it's a frequency. It's a vibration, right? We react to the energy, right? And the way we receive it from a physical note is what makes the energy be the way it is. Bad, right? Or it can make it bad, right? If somebody say something negative to you and you react to them negatively, then the energy gonna be negative. If somebody send negative energy to you and you don't react negatively towards them, you just let them have it and walk the fuck on, then the energy won't affect you. Now you done turned the energy, the negative energy, into nothing now because it didn't affect nobody, right? But everybody want to react to a lot of shit because that's what we told to do. We think that's the best thing to do is to react. You don't have to react to everything unless someone is touching who you know or trying to touch you, then you react. But words is nothing. It's just energy. We don't never stop and pay attention to the energy of how people carry themselves. So if I'm around someone that is very deceiving, manipulative, conniving, I'm going to be able to tell if you telling the truth on something or you being a deceiver. Just by the tone in your voice and how you present your words. But I'm listening to the energy. I'm not just I'm listening to it. That's how you do that. Pay attention to the energy. Don't react off the word. Pay attention to the energy. Because a lot of times somebody could tell you something and it may sound bad, but they not meaning it as that. They just being honest with you. Right? But we don't pay attention enough, so we just, oh, fuck you. But they ain't meaning it like that. Right, but that's the victim. We go back to the victim mindset, being sensitivity. Thinking that everybody is against you. Because I also had said, you got a lot of people in this world that think there's nothing wrong with them. You got to understand that it's something wrong with everybody. Everybody have something wrong with them. Ain't nobody in this world perfect. And I'm saying that psychologically. Because everybody have endured some form of trauma. Even if you grew up in a suburban neighborhood, you didn't endure something. Right? Because everybody's mindset is all predicated off their environment. So if you come from the hood, your mindset is going to be predicated off the hood. So it's going to be certain things you do. It's going to be a certain way you dress. It's going to be a certain way you think. You ain't going to look at the popos like they coming to help you and save you and keep you out of danger. You going to look at them as the enemy. That's the Taliban in your mind. All right? It's a certain psychological mind that we have predicated off of where we come from. Right? So, wherever you come from, on whoever you around, you gonna find some negative energy. You gonna find something that's wrong in that, because that's just life. That's just how it works. You know, that's why we get people out here that'll tell you, just because something look good don't mean it's good. Just because something looks bad don't mean it can't be fixed. Right? So just because something look good, you think it's perfect. That's the way it's supposed to be. Nah, that may not be the case. Right? You may want something that's already fixed. Right? Because you don't want to put the work in, and you don't want to put your own instance on it or put your own 1-2 in it. So you gonna pick something that's already done. But if you pick something that's half done, right, you could fix it yourself, right, and probably make it better than the one that's already done, right. But a lot of people don't want to do that because that's just not the popular decision, right. So a lot of people can come off as good people. Oh, that's a good person. Yeah, for that time being. But it's till you really get to know this person and spend time with this person to where you will know if they really a good person or not. All you got to do, like I said, is pay attention to the energy. Listen to the energy. Look at the way they carry themselves. And this is how you going to know if they the person that they say they is or what you think they are. Because ain't everybody what they say they is. You know. Not everybody. A lot of people is full of shit. And they don't realize that they full of shit. You know, so when you talk about the victim mindset, it's something that you have to fix within yourself and you have to go over it. Why I feel this way? Why do I think everybody is against me? Why do I have such negative perceptions of life and myself? Why do I have this? Where does it come from? Right? You have to think about it. Sit with yourself and ask yourself, why am I the way that I am? That's what you have to do. Once you do that and ask yourself why on a lot of things, you're going to get an answer. Right? You're going to get you a clear answer that you need so you can start changing the way you think and the way you feel towards a lot of things in your life or the way you feel towards people. You know. But um, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. I've said enough about this. I know I say this all the time after I come back for after teaching in a while. I'm gonna have some information, some more information on some other stuff. Uh, I wanted to speak on um, as far as the Eye of Horus. I was gonna make a video talking about the Eye of Horus. So I might end up making that tomorrow. Talk about the Eye of Horus. Because a lot of people don't probably necessarily understand deeply what the Eye of Horus really was about. Right? The Eye of Horus was deep because it all represented um, the the mind, right, and how the brain works as far as the melanin, the chemicals in the brain, your neurons, right. So you got the left eye, and then you got the right eye. We know that the eyes are connected to the brain, right? It's all connected to each other. So you got the left eye governed by the left part of the brain, then you got the right eye governed by the right part of the brain. You know, the right brain is feminine, the left brain is masculine, right? So this is when you get into the six senses of the brain, right? You got the smell, you got the touch, you got the sight, hear, taste, right? You got your senses. Some of those senses may be feminine, the other senses may be masculine. You put them together, this is when you got the eye of Horus, or the eye of Horus, right? Because you remember Horus, he takes the name of his mother and his father. Horus' name, uh, the way it's spelled, Horus, his father is Osiris, his mother is Isis. So you could say the O would stand for Osiris, which is his father, and then the H would be the replacement of the I, meaning Isis. So Horus, right? So um, the knowledge and the wisdom that Horus has comes from his mother and his father, right? So you get into the eye of Horus, you will be able to understand that. But I'm gonna talk more about that tomorrow. So, with that being said, this is Big Bam Boom, and I'm out. Peace.